Hello, this is Juniper of Solo V Studio, and welcome to my backyard. Keep waiting for the rain to let up, but it doesn't seem like it's going to. And where I live, sometimes it will rain for weeks straight. So, it's just how it goes. Last week was very, very dry and sunny and warm, and so now we're back to the normal autumnal weather of rain. So, I have a lot of thoughts going through my head, and I'm feeling a bit scattered about them, so hopefully this will go in a good solid direction. Life offers a lot of opportunity, and it seems as if it's very comfortable to identify yourself with a certain aspect of community. And some people find comfort in identifying as what they do for their career. Some people find comfort in identifying as what their spiritual or religious beliefs are. Some people feel comforted by identifying as a certain political party. I mean, there's so many ways of self-identification. But like I had mentioned in yesterday's video, we are also in groups, whether we like it or not, due to the things that we've experienced. But at the same time, I would assume that every person has experienced some form of abuse. Verbal, emotional, physical, sexual, some form of abuse. And have had traumatic events, have lost loved ones, have been in the weather of life. And what I'm coming to the realization of, and I've thought of this before, but we are all spiritual beings having a human experience. And some of what being a human offers is not pleasant. But those less desirable experiences or cultural teachings shape the way that we live. But how each person responds to the unpleasantries that humanity, life as a human, offers us, creates a perspective. And no two people that I've ever met have the same perspective on everything. You can definitely find commonalities among people, similar beliefs, similar dietary choices or requirements due to our digestive systems, similar lifestyle choices, similar hobbies, similar. But what I don't know if I'm able to explain this well. But no matter what you've experienced, you will never have the same perspective of anybody else. And it's so easy to have misunderstandings with other people due to the differences in perspectives. I mean, I know that there's certain agreements that humans have made, like the color red is the color red. But those who are colorblind have a completely different perception of red, because all they see is grayscale. So red could look just like green to them, potentially. And when I was teaching in school, there was a boy who I found out after a few years of knowing him, found out that he was colorblind. But from his drawings, you would never know. But he found a way to compensate. If there was a map drawn on the board and he was expected to draw that map in color, you would, at the end of the drawing, you would have never known that he was colorblind. He didn't color the water red. He didn't color the land purple. You know, it was green and blue and brown, and it was the proper colors in the proper place. So even though his perspective of color was so very different than anyone else's, he found a way to compensate. And because he was so good at compensating, I had no idea for years that he was colorblind, because I wasn't his main teacher. And I was shocked. So no one ever knows other people's personal experiences. And unless someone is willing to share something such as, oh, sorry, my foot's falling asleep. Such as I'm colorblind, which that's not something that people are going to wear on their sleeve. But many people have aspects of themselves that they don't walk around announcing. And we don't know what anyone else has ever gone through. All we know is what they let us know. So in this process of better understanding myself, I realized that I have a tendency to be very quiet. I don't share a lot about myself. And that came up this weekend when we were painting. I love painting. I've been painting for years. But that's not something that I go around talking about. And so when, there's a big group of ladies painting at a table, people were commenting about my rocks, about how nice my paintings were. But everyone else, theirs turned out beautiful too, and some people had never painted really before. But with this technique, it was simple to make a beautiful painting on a rock. And the reason why I didn't share that I was a painter is because I didn't want to hinder anyone else. It seems as if people have they limit themselves, and I do this. They limit themselves when they feel inadequate. So if somebody had never painted really anything since preschool or kindergarten, or something from when they were very young, and then 40 years later or 30 years later, 20 years later, they're in a setting where there's the opportunity to paint and people are encouraging you to paint, and it's just a form of play. But somebody walks in, oh, I'm this super awesome painter, blah, 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 I have so much, it's not very welcoming because of people's fear of being judged. And I know in my life, I've definitely held myself back before because I didn't think I could do that thing well the first time around. And so I didn't try. And to that effect, why hold yourself back? As I mentioned in my video a few days ago, drawing has been this super terrifying thing for me for a good deal of my childhood and on into adulthood. And I held myself back from something that at this point in my life I love doing it. I may not be the best photorealistic drawer, but it brings me joy to draw. So my question to you is those things that you imagine that you'd love doing, what's holding you back? The first attempt at playing an instrument, because I've learned to play instruments, my children have learned to play instruments, the first time they pick it up, it's never pleasant sounding. But with time and practice, they get better and better and better and better. And they enjoy it more and more and more and more. Sure, if you're learning to play the saxophone and it's a brand new reed, brand new reeds tend to squeak a lot more. You have to wear it in. And so if it's your first time playing, you have your very own reed for the first time, it's squeaky, 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 it doesn't sound very good. And that can be really discouraging. But keep trying, keep doing it, keep going. I mean, if you are inspired to write a book, but you know you're not good at writing, do it anyways. You don't have to be perfect. And so when you see other people maybe applying makeup for the first time, maybe doing something for the first time, be kind. As you would to yourself, as you're learning something new. You don't know what the other person's experience level is. You don't know what their perspective is. And if we can all just come together in community and lift each other up instead of tearing each other down, the human experience would be much, much more pleasant. Blessings on your day.